elbow. The elbow. Why does that elbow get tennis? Well, the elbow is a meeting of three bones. So you have this arm bone that hangs. At the end of that, you have that elbow joint. The forearm, to where the wrist is, has two bones. So without getting crazy, one is the ulnar, one is the radial. Without getting crazy, let's call them Larry A and Larry B. Those two bones cross. And uncross. Cross. I know, it's weird. It happens here. So when you turn your palm up, they uncross. Palm down, they cross. That function of the elbow, there's a whole bunch of stuff in there. There's a cushion called a bursa. There's tendons in there that control it. When you have a range of motion in that elbow that's not just so, it affects the shoulder, the neck, the wrist. It can contribute to carpal tunnel. And of course, you can feel that pain right in that elbow. Tennis elbow is an inflammation of that bursa in there. So even though you don't play tennis, you may get that tennis elbow. And people that do a lot of rotating of their hand, don't we all turn the key? Don't we all do rotating? Some of us do it more than others, like a dentist, like a person that turns pages in a book, like a person that does a lot of stuff with their hands, a plumber, a carpenter. They can get that syndrome known as tennis elbow. So right from the tip of the elbow, if you follow it downward a couple of inches, if you feel in there, you'll feel a divot. That's the space between the two bones there. If you give that area a little push, if it's tender, you already have a little something going on. So when you do tricep strengthening exercises, there are 3 triceps muscles back there. All of those muscles meet and form a rope that cross the elbow joint. But at the other side, they don't all start at the same spot. All muscles cross joints, right? It's a basic idea. Muscles only pull, they don't push. They shorten and they move the joint. When you develop improper balance of your 3 back of arm bye-bye muscles called the triceps, it can lead to tennis elbow, shoulder issues, neck issues, carpal tunnel. When we do class in the real Pilates, there are a ton of movements that I do to activate that weaker little part of those triceps that most people overlook. And I stress that in all the classes that I do so that you can prevent that tennis elbow. Now, if you're starting to get tenderness, here is something you can do. Get a squishy ball with your elbow against your ribs and shoulder down. Squeeze that ball for 5 seconds and squeeze. Make sure that your wrist is not bending. Make sure that the elbow is not lifting. You can do that 5 to 15 times and try to do that 3 times a day. It's going to be a process to unravel that, but it will go away. Another one that is really, really good is for you to hold the fingers back on the side where you have that issue, because the wrist and the shortness of the digital flexor, it's a long story, can contribute to what is known as tennis elbow. And then one of my favorites is to bring that elbow against you with the shoulder down. Pretend that you have a glass of tea in your hand and flick the tea to the floor, then to the ceiling, palm down, palm up. Doing that range of motion without bending the wrist or lifting the shoulder and always holding the stomach really is going to relieve that tennis elbow. Hold to reduce inflammation, heat to stimulate healing.